Hey there viewers, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Today, it's going to be a little update video for the wife's 85 Fiero. A little update for it. You'll notice I've been kind of tinkering with it here. Pardon the wood noise and pardon the road noise, guys. After I did the engine cleaning, which wasn't very much of a cleaning, it was just a kind of little hose down and little light scrub. The alternator stopped charging. The one off of the parts car that we have, I took the alternator from that, and I have installed it right here. Now you'll notice there's something different about the wiring here, and that is a new 8-gauge wire that I just purchased from a audio store near me. The reason being is because the original wiring was kind of cob jobbed. They had a buck connector splicing the wiring together going up to the charging terminal of the alternator. And when I took it off of the stud, it chewed it up, and when I went to put it back together, the wire came apart, and so that kind of put a stop on everything. So now that the car is back together, it charges now, but I run this wire. It's not fused yet, but it will be. I'm going to be changing this out with a fuse in it. Put a fuse in it so it's protected. I'm going to get like a 100 amp fuse. I also noticed that the new belt that I put on is rubbing the starter cable. Not good. So yeah, she runs. She charges now. But the problem is it doesn't run very well. We get a check engine light on. Again, I could be a janitor here. Alright, so the keys are the ignition. We have power. If you listen closely, you can kind of hear the dinger, or the bell there. Put it in neutral. Hit the clutch. Once the check engine light comes on, it starts to run better. But you see the tach is way wrong. There's no way this is running at like 1400 RPMs. And if you could smell what I smell, it smells kind of rich. That injector don't sound very good. It's got that injector really ramped up. I believe I've tracked it down to being a bent stud for this right here. In the engine cleaning video, how I mentioned there was like what looked like gum down in this corner here. Well, I took some brake clean, I sprayed all that down and scrubbed it off. I don't see what would look like any cracks or anything like that. Matter of fact, that looks like a fairly new gasket right there. And I would believe that the problem is a bent stud, because I don't see any cracks or anything like that, and so I took that stud out. When I put it on a flat surface and started rolling it just a little bit, you can see it kind of just slightly bent. Not by much, just a little bit. So I have other studs in the black Fiero from our parts engine that we had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the black car and grab one of the other studs that I have laying in the back. We'll come back and try it. So for me, it'll be a little bit. For you guys, it'll be... Alright, so it's been a bit later in the day. I got the new, or the replacement stud started in there. I'm going to tighten that down. I'm going to throw the air cleaner and all that back on and fire her up. And we'll see what happens. So stay tuned for a second here. I have that stud in and tightened down. I haven't put any of this together yet, as you can see. I just adjusted the battery a little bit so that the wire doesn't rub on the belt. For some reason it wants to rub down in that section there. And yeah, you can still see definitely needs a valve cover gasket. So this can go back down onto here. One of the shifter cables there. I noticed that the shifter cables come up over this on this one more than they do on my black one. So the Alternator. They're a little different on that aspect. So there's that. As you can see, map sensor is plugged in. The vacuum hose is hooked up to the throttle body down there. I've got the temp valve and all that connected over there. So there should not be any vacuum leaks. So with that being said, get the key, we'll hop in it, and see what happens. Here we go. It is in neutral. You know, the downside of having so many of the same key, they look very similar. Nope, check engine still came on. Well, let me see what I can figure out and be back. Alright, now I have a jumper in the diagnostic port, and I'm going to see if it'll flash the codes for the check engine light. Now, I have a book here that will explain a few of the codes. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's code 12. Okay, that's the third time. Code 33. There's 4. 45. And there's 12. So those are the codes. 33, 34, and 45.
What about 12?
12 is the beginning of the diagnostics right here. So 33, map sensor. Check the vacuum hose to the map sensor and check the electrical connections at the ECM. If all else fails, replace the map sensor. 34 will set when the signal voltage from the map sensor is too low. Instead, the ECM will substitute a fixed map value and use the TPS to control the fuel delivery. Replace the map. And then 45 is rich exhaust. Check the evap charcoal canister. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about 45 because that's rich exhaust.
And that's not that bad, right?
Well, yes, but no. This could be set in because of what I was just doing. So here we go with 33 and 34. So it's looking at a map sensor.
Could be.
So guys, looks like I need to replace a map sensor on this. Oh, yippee.
At least it's not a head gasket.
Don't you be jinxing me now.
I'm just saying.
Don't you be jinxing me.
I'm just saying.
But in all honesty, I think someone has been in this engine.
Yeah, because
it looks like someone's been here.
It looks like it's been thrown together in a piece of chicken wire.
Well, you know. So, guys, stay tuned. I will be replacing the map sensor in an upcoming video on this, and we'll see what happens. So, if you like this video, stay tuned for more. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Till next time, have a good one.